Hello everyone, this is our brief quick demo on how to do the week 2 assignment. This is our font category research paper that we are going to lay out and format in InDesign. So for this assignment, you will explore fonts in 8 different type categories, and you're going to evaluate their uses and their applications. So to use Typekit, this is the majority of the assignment, is to explore Typekit a little bit. To access it, you're going to want to pull up your InDesign, and under your character formatting controls, you're going to use the drop-down box here and click on TK or Typekit, add fonts from Typekit. This will take you to a website, which is the Typekit website, and it will allow you to peruse lots of different fonts in different classifications. You've got serif, sans serif, slab serif, script, black letter, mono, hand, and decorative. And you're going to incorporate one of each into your CC library. So you want to make sure that you are logged into your Adobe Creative Cloud app as well. And then we're going to kind of sync it into our InDesign. So I'm going to make sure my InDesign is up here. But for this assignment, or for this demo, I'm going to show you how to format your assignment. Okay, so using InDesign, you're going to create an 8.5 by 11 document with default margin settings. So what does that mean? It means we're going to deselect facing pages. One page is all we need. The page size is going to be letter. And if you click this preview box here in the bottom left, it will show you what you're doing. The changes are live. So it's kind of a live feed, which is nice and handy. Columns you're going to set to 2 because we want 2 individual columns. And then the margins are just default. So just leave that there. And your margins is the magenta lines that kind of follow your page. So you'll hit OK, and these magenta lines are your margins. This should be set to default. This is your column here. So we're going to have 2 columns, and the space in between them is your gutter. So we don't want any text boxes overflowing into that gutter, and we don't want any text boxes overlapping that margin line. You grab your type tool, the letter T on your keyboard will also bring it up. It's a shortcut. I'm going to click and drag from one corner to the next in that column. And I'm also going to click and drag from one corner to the next in the second column. Now notice how my text boxes aren't overlapping my margin line. They line up exactly. If your smart guides are turned on, this will also help line everything up correctly. If you click on this text box at the bottom right, there is a larger white anchor point here. You're going to click that, and when you do, your mouse will change. It'll kind of look like little text icon, and you're going to click anywhere in the second column. And what that does is it links these two. So now that when you are done writing your paper in Word, you can flow your document into these columns, and it will flow it in for you. So it kind of saves you an extra step. To view this, you'll go to View, the View drop-down menu. And you can see what it's doing as soon as my computer starts thinking. And you'll go to Extras and Show Text Threads. So you can see that as we've linked, these columns are linked with this little angled blue line going through the gutter. This shows that these text boxes are linked. So you can grab your type tool, click once in the first column. Now, when you are done writing answering the questions that were given to you in the prompt, like why did you choose that font? Who designed it? What type of personality do you think it has and why? And where you might use it most often? Would it be headlines for an entertainment publication, body text for a corporation, specific commercial websites, etc.? When you answer those questions, you're going to type it up in brief 50 to 60 word paragraphs and in Word, and then you're going to flow it in. So to flow it in, you're going to go to File, Place, and then you're going to find where you saved that Word document. So whether you saved it to your desktop or you have a special folder for our class, that's where you're going to go. So you'll look for the document. Okay, and then once you find it, you click it and hit open. When you do that, it will flow the text in. For this tutorial, I'm just going to fill it with some placeholder text for now, just so that we can see what it does. So now you can see these text boxes are linked and the text has flown in. For the demonstration purposes, I'm just going to even out here, let's see, 8 columns of text. So you can see what it should look like. There we go. All right, and then next we are going to format our InDesign document. So with this, we do need 8, and you don't have to number them. You can, but you don't have to. So you're going to label the name of the font that you chose, and then you're going to put which classification it fell in. So is it font, or is it Times New Roman or serif? But the idea here with these classifications is that you need to choose fonts that you do not already have on your computer. So everyone knows you have Times New Roman and Helvetica and all those. So I want you to use fonts. The details and availability tabs in Typekit will show you and help you view information about the font. Some fonts you'll have to pay for, but some versions you don't, and you can just click the sync button and it will all sync up. For a tutorial on how to work Typekit, go ahead and watch the recording from our live lecture on that. But what you're going to do is once you have the font downloaded on your computer, you're going to label it, give the name of the font, and then you're going to say what classification it's in. You're going to want to make it larger than the body text of some sort. The next one, name of font, and this one will be sans serif. And you want to format this this subheadline in the actual font that you chose. So if this was Arial, I would choose Arial. There we go. So that's the name of the font, sans serif. Here's another one. This one. This will be script. So you kind of get the idea. So you'll label each one and format it correctly. So each paragraph will have a font classification and the name of the font listed. Then you'll format the body text. The body text does not need to be in the font that you chose, because look what would happen if, for instance, the script font, if I chose the script font for my body text, it'd be extremely hard to read. So that's a no. We're not going to do that. You can just pick a regular serif or sans serif font for the actual paragraph information, but you do format the name of the font, and you'll give it all the same size. So we want consistency. Now that you have your paragraphs flowed in, we're going to want to make sure that it's lined up to our baseline grid. So we're going to have a little review from our assignment 1. If you go to your InDesign preferences and click on grids, you'll make sure that your increment every says 12, or whatever your increment every is, it needs to match what your leading is. So you can pick whatever value you want, but the leading needs to match your increment every. This information can stay the same. I'm just going to change this to 50% so we can see it. I'll hit OK. I'll go to View, click on Grids and Guides, Show Baseline Grid. So as you can see now that I zoom in, some of these words and letters and sentences are either going through the blue line or they're at the top of the blue line. They don't line up to the baseline grid here. So we need to fix that. So what I'm going to do is grab my selection tool. I'll zoom out so we can see this, and I'll select each text box. And once a text box is selected, I will go to, make sure your cursor is blinking inside your text box and click on your aligned baseline grid that's found here at the top right under your paragraph control settings. You want to kind of highlight it all and click that. Then you want to go to your character formatting controls and make sure that your leading says 12. And once you do that, once our leading and our increment every match up, now you can see that all the text lines up to the baseline grid naturally. You can get rid of that view by just going to Grids and Guides, Hide Baseline Grid. So once you've set it up that way, everything will line up now. So now you can give more space in between. You can kind of format it the way that you want to see it. But we want it to be nice and clean, everything lining up. Now if you'll look here, I'll zoom in. I'll grab my pencil tool and kind of show you with a bright color. You see these hyphenated words. We want to get rid of that. We don't want words to get cut off. So as you can see, these hyphenated words kind of naturally happen when you have a lot of text that flow through columns. So what I'm going to do is highlight my entire document, and I'm going to go to paragraph control settings, and over here there's a box that you'll uncheck. It says hyphenate. We'll uncheck that, and now it will format that a little cleaner for us. So now I'll get rid of these little circles And now the hyphens are gone. You can usually access it underneath the paragraph formatting controls or go to Window, type in tables, click on paragraph, and that same checkbox is there, so you uncheck it. All right, and that's all we need to do as far as formatting this. I do like even columns, so if you have one column that ends before the other, here you've got all this extra space, click both of them, hold down Shift and select both text boxes, and then simply bring them up until the lines of text match up. I'll be looking for widows too. Widows are kind of these little words hanging off the end. We don't want them to be lonely. So what you can do is adjust the tracking a little bit to kind of pull it up. We talked about this in class in our live lecture, so if you have any questions on how to do that, you can reference that. But in this way, we're just kind of adjusting the tracking so that we don't have any dangler words. We don't want any widows. And that's all there is to it for this assignment. So if you have any questions, please email me and I'd be happy to reach out. Just read the prompt and just remember, save your InDesign file as DES 113. So you'll go to File, Save As, and same structure as we've been saving it. So DES 113 underscore assignment 2 underscore first last name. Okay, you'll hit save. All you need to do is submit your PDF. So you'll export your InDesign document to a PDF, and that's all you'll submit to me. So go to File, Export. Make sure the format down here says Adobe PDF Print. You'll hit Save, and then sure, replace it. That's fine. Make sure that the Adobe PDF preset here at the top says smallest file size, and then you hit Export, and it will create a PDF, and that's what you'll upload. All right, thank you so much. I hope this helps.